This behind me is 275 gallons of water. Weighs approximately, 2,600 pounds. And if you're wondering why it is in the back of my truck, that's because we have a well up here, and the well, depending on the time of the year, might only make 50 or 60 gallons a day, which is actually more than enough for Leah and I to live on, to do our daily things, etc., etc., etc. However, when it comes to things like topping up the hot tub, Yep, that's right, I said hot tub. Leah and I have always wanted one for our cabin. However, it was never really in the budget. With new tubs that can handle the harsh winters here starting at $10,000 or more, not including the 8% sales tax, delivery fees, electric installation fees, etc., we estimated that getting one fully set up and running at our place could cost nearly $20,000. And that's just insane. So I got creative, and I found this hot tub on Craigslist for just $1,000. I went online and researched the same hot tub and found that new they were going for $13,500. So I figured, hey, good deal, right? Thankfully, I was able to borrow my friend's skid steer to help build a pad as well as unload and move the hot tub. Now I should mention that the owner let me know that the hot tub had a leak. I pulled the access panel off at his house and I couldn't see anything majorly broken. So I didn't think much of it, and I figured, heck, I could probably just fix it, and we'd still probably come out even ahead if I had to spend money on parts. But I was incredibly wrong, and nearly every piece of PVC in this hot tub was cracked and broken from freeze damage. Here we are, and now I'm going to tell you everything that's broken in this hot tub. Starting with this guy right here. This connected from the pump that's down here and was used to power the jets for mostly this chair and everything kind of around it. And this thing was mad cracked from, I think he left it, he drained it, but I don't think he drained it all the way. And surprise, surprise, here in Colorado, it froze. This wasn't the only thing that was broken. In fact, we had a whole bunch of stuff. So as you can see, I've kind of come in here, I removed this, got all these hoses off, got a clean cut here, and I was going, hey, like, let's go ahead and fix this. Well, then it got worse. And I first thought, okay, this was the only broken part. Well, then we found another broken part, which was down here, going into this tube. This tube powers the jets that were for this chair right here. Now, unfortunately, at first I saw just the broken elbow piece and thought that, okay, it's just one piece. I'll fix that one piece and we'll be good, chill. No, in fact, this pipe is cracked all the way through. And it comes out over here. And in this particular spot, you can see it where it came out over here, I saw these manifolds as well. And guess what I learned yesterday? This right here is not a plastic injection mold seam. That is in fact another crack. So these are shot as well, as was the tube that came from that pump over there. So that was this guy. So in short, this thing's pretty screwed. But so here's the here's what we're gonna do. We're still gonna try and fix it in the name of not always having to go out and buy stuff, because no doubt, like, anything is really fixable, but it's just going to be a bunch harder. So today we're gonna start by repairing and rebuilding the whole manifold on that side, and then we're gonna have to go get some more parts from the hot tub store in Denver to rebuild the manifold system on this side. And then after that, we'll see what else is broken.
Okay, so here I am again with the heat gun duty. So of course we just cut this and we see that it's cracked. We just keep finding more and more and more cracks. So we're gonna try to salvage everything from this elbow back. So I'm gonna try to heat gun this guy and get it out of there. Try to do it and get as much as I can just on the pipe that we want to remove.
Of course, as luck would have it, the rest of that pipe ended up being cracked as well, so we had to rebuild the entire thing from the top down.
Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
After cutting everything to length, we went ahead and glued all the sections together. Now, if you look really closely, you'll see some Sharpie markings on our PVC. This is so that we know exactly how far to insert everything in, and the vertical line there also shows us how far we need to turn it to make sure the angles all work perfectly. Because once you get this stuff started and it glues together, there's really no stopping it. It's a one-shot go.
We've got the new pipe installed all along there. Now the last thing to do on this side is just put these hoses, plug them back into the manifold pieces. You putting it here?
Yeah, just do it. So this is manifold number 2 from the other side of the pump. So the other day we replaced all of this, starting here all the way down, connecting all this, all the new connectors, this piece, and we stopped right about there. I'm hoping we did an okay job because we definitely probably did better on this one. But anyway, this one is the manifold for the other pump side. So after we finished that, of course I went and looked at the other side, and the other side one was cracked to hell. So here we go, is this version. I had to go back down to Denver to get more pipes, more parts, everything else, and we'll show you where this one's gonna go. So this is gonna connect to this pump here. Now originally this pump powered both this seat and that seat. Well, due to just the broken pipe in the middle, that seat's no longer gonna be powered. It's just gonna be this one for right now until we can do some more plumbing. But we're going to use this just to finish up the job today and test the efficacy of all the stuff that we did. So now I'm going to get this down and put it in place, get it lined up, and then use this. First time I've ever used a strap wrench and it had actually worked for something is this project. So here we go. Oh, darn it. Just gotta go this way.
After screwing this into the pump and then gluing all the fittings together like we did on the other side, it was finally time to put some water into the hot tub and see if it would actually hold and if there were any other leaks that we needed to address.
We are officially testing the hot tub fill up. So water's going in through the filter there. We can hear it. Let's see what it's doing. Doesn't seem to be any leaks, and there it goes. There it's coming out. Give us the update, Louis.
This valve right here is still shot, and well, I shouldn't say it's shot, but this back piece over here
still broken and cracked. We found that when we started trying to fill it up the last time. So we have to replace this kind of whole assembly in here. And thankfully I went to the hot tub manufacturer. They've been pretty awesome. They've like pretty much given me every single part that I could have possibly needed.
Shout out to Wind River Spas.
Yeah. But on a separate note, they said all of this stuff is kind of in the way and I don't really want to like nick it. So I'm kind of trying to just move these cables, unhook them a little bit, and then we'll get it back. Like, so I'm like less concerned about damaging some of the pipes because we have to replace those, but getting these out the way for when I get the hacksaw in there will be a pretty good idea. I don't know if I should take this off.
All right, so, hi Sierra. All right, so I just kind of glued this part together, which is gonna, you can see the old version of that exact same thing right here. And that is going to connect here, L, and go and connect to those two hoses there. Also this white one, and then also this one that's just hanging out here right now.
This section was particularly challenging, not only due to the tight spaces, but the fact that we had to make hose extensions and figure out different ways of connecting all these different hoses into this particular manifold. So we stopped by the local hardware store, bought some extra pieces of PVC, some reducers, and a couple 90-degree L bends. That way we could actually make it fit into the manifold. Here I am sizing everything up because, like I said before, you really only have one shot in order to glue it all together.
Here's our second water test. We're just about to start. I think now we've pretty much replaced every bit of plumbing in here almost. So really fingers crossed that nothing leaks. Okay, so far so good with the fill. Or I don't know, maybe halfway-ish up, maybe a little bit more. Okay, he's turning it on.
Oh, you know what? I might have to go hit it from the main.
I was gonna say, don't we have it off at the main too?
Yeah.
That was anticlimactic. Okay, we're going. We're checking for leaks. So it's just that one back there isn't covered yet, and so that's what's spraying really far. Yeah. Oh yeah, baby! Woohoo!
Okay, I found one little leaky spot right here.
Okay.
See that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just it needs to be siliconed a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, we did it! Look at that hot tub.
Hey, it's got to still heat itself. So,
well, it looks like
ish.
it's not leaking. But yeah, we got to see if it heats. So, but it's looking good.
well, it seems like it did go up 1 degree. I don't know if that's just a fluke, though.
So we're starting at 51 degrees. It's got a ways to go.
Now let's hop back to the present and see how we fill the house up with water and the hot tub when the well isn't producing any. When it comes to things like topping up the hot tub or, just having a bunch of guests over, etc., like we had over New Year's, that ends up with our house tank looking a little bit low. So I'm going to show you guys the house tank real quick. This is the house tank. You'll notice it's exactly the same as the type of tank that we have in the truck. This is 275 gallons, and I built this system last year, which uses this tank and a pump over there to pressurize and water the house. Now, what this does is it allows the well to fill the tank asynchronously from the demand of the house. Basically, what that means is as the well produces water, it can be pumped into this tank, and it's controlled by a little computer and a set of limit switches. So when the water gets way down here, it'll turn off, and guess what? No water to the house. But when the water raises up to the top, it kicks off the limit switch and basically it'll tell the well to stop pumping. For the most part, throughout the course of the year, this system works pretty great. But in some low times like now, it needs to be refilled manually. So that's what I'm going to do this morning. We're going to top up the tank manually with the water that I trucked in. Cool, so the hot tub's back up to where we are. We're gonna turn the pumps on and let it circulate a little bit. And eventually I'm gonna rebalance the chemicals.